Malono na samyo. Mange bae kasamyo. Mange bae kasamyo. Mange bao kasamyo. Wanga nyewi nganwa. Wanga nyewi nganwa. Wale kuna mwege elo newa. Wale na mwega elo newa. Alo mayanga yele konoba. Alo me yele nediba. Abalo nebo abale yenga. Abalo nebo abale yenga. Abalo nebo abale yenga. Yole nyela yolo mana. Yole nyela yolo mana. Yole nyela yolo mana. Malo nebo abale yenga. Malo nebo abale yenga.
Okay, good evening, good evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. As usual, today is Friday, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God the Liberal and his ally, they are not in charge. So you will be able to make your voices heard. You'll be able to speak your mind without any reprisal or limit your ability to speak about your country. Let's do a little housekeeping here, something that we don't usually do here. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners, of course, that we always remember. But I want to encourage you to share our live view what you are watching, just 3-4 times in different groups. And by the way, we are also available via YouTube. If you go in the YouTube search engine channel, just type in like Republic Radio. And the best thing you can do, you can just hit the follow, notification, subscribe. That way you will always be alerted when we are on. That is very, very vital. Subscribe. Subscription, it means something is involved. That shouldn't be a problem. Invite someone at your company. We allow you to speak your mind. Finding Mr. Sampson, good evening, welcome. Ali Kroma is here. Craze. Why you already long here? I would just call it short the way my own way here. Craze, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hema, thank you for being here. Martina Tarawawit, thank you for being here. Dorin, good to have you here. Angeline, thank you for being here. And of course, our own Sissy Goyle. Remember, he won't be from Lofa, he go to Bon County, he go to Grand Gide, go to Sano, Norway to Hosing, everywhere he won't be. Jesus Christ. Young Match, good to have you here. Sandra Mo, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on your locations. And our man, Mr. Tizia, good to have you here. Patricia Boydman, good to have you. Thank you so much. Rosalind Moya, we are glad to have you here as well. Rabina, let me just do it the way I can do it good. And Zid Gabo. Ziyamand Gabo. Hopefully I'm doing well here. So we want to welcome all of you. Thank you so much. Mohammed, thank you so much. Come on, man, you got only this song here. I need to know the meaning of this song here. Sissy is lying to me here. You're giving a different interpretation here. Yeah, you need to give us the meaning of this song here, but I will play. Well, folks, we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Alfonso Zian Soul. Very shortly, the analysts will be here. And we will scramble on some of the news making headline in Liberia, right on our feet. What is happening within the system, within the bare way, turning in the water jail. When things fall apart, the Falcons can no longer hear the Falcon. Welcome to the show. what a beautiful day right here in the East Coast. I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberal Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We say good morning, good evening, good afternoon to depending your locations, wherever you are. Thank you for sharing your beautiful Friday with us right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberal Public Radio. And I surely sure we're going to have a fascinating conversation. So let me see here. Let me go with this one here. We're going to have a fascinating conversation. And there you see it. This is not all things considered. What am I doing here? Something told is in my. So we're going to have a wide range of national conversation as usual. We do not really depend on people to come to tell us what we need to know. We are all grown up people. We see what is happening on a daily basis. And so we have the ability, the capacity to have these conversations. And you yourself can drive these conversations. And this is why we are here. The good thing, the Liberal is not in charge with his guy, Jerry Bacon. So no channel phone will die on you. You will be able to call. You'll be able to do whatever you can do as long as done in the civil context. And this is why we are the independent voices of this network. Little fear should be in you when you see the Liberal Progressive and his guy, Jerry Bacon, leaving Dr. Malley, their own guy, Terry Collins, leaving them out. It speaks volume. Their conversations and things to do. So all they are doing now is jawbone exercise. They raise their own alligator, the alligator eating its own baby, the cow swallowing its own baby, and then they take us back to where we came from to say, oh, it happened the last time, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Because it was bad, we replaced you guys. We gave you guys the opportunity. And that makes it very less for people like us with this sort of independent voice. And I'm going to be bringing you in. So the only two person here, Dr. Malley and myself. Sister went behind the brown guy. The brown didn't even cross Kakata. All the straw disappeared. Blue, he jumped, sick. He took Lofa Road. It's obvious he's from Lofa. So regional solidarity in politics is important. Samson told he had his own Liberty Party. Liberty Party is torn into pieces. They destroy it. They kill it prematurely. He decided to seek political refuge with the Unity Party. Jerry Bacon Washington on the other side raised, nurtured, tutored CDC George Weah. Thinking he was advancing, he brought his racist own alligator, thinking the alligator became full grown and decided to get out of the barricade from out of the zoo, and it was about to swallow him. So he left and gone to Unity Party. This is how convoluted and dangerous the media guru has become, because that's deny you the ability to make informed decisions. Those who are supposed to hold these people to be held accountable, guess what? They turned to Donald Trump, Michael Cohen to be the fixer to fix things, give justifications of all of their actions, thus disadvantaging. Anyway, he's here. I'm not going to sanction him. I'm going to have him to have his day to say what he wants to say. But it's a fact, and I would say it as it should be. Thank you so much. Just hit the share button. So this is the first time Yaya Tai Davis watching from China. Beijing. Are you in Beijing or in how do you call the place? What other city name? Thank you so much for joining us. Saliv, thank you for having us here. Boy, yeah, come on, Boyka, they're not baby. No, they thought Boyka was a baby. So they wanted the thing they did to George Weah, that the thing they want to do, but a lot of them not getting their way. But the old man too now, he's stepping behind his own heels. The rescue now is becoming last name. Let me bring in Jerry Bacon, and the rest of the analysts will be joining us. Yes. Let's go to the city of Pawtucket. He rests with Imai State. Ari Brooks, good to have you here. Queen Mother Jackson, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. So Veronica is marching right into the house of LPR. By the way, we are on YouTube as well. Just subscribe, share it with. Let me bring in Jerry Bacon here. There you see him. There you see him. There you see him. He brought George Weah on us. He carried George Weah in all of the 50 whatever state. They went to met Sarah Panel. Sarah Panel didn't give them the resources they wanted. He came back, went to the liberal state in Massachusetts. He got good bid, and they elected him. What happened, Jerry, yet to tell us the story why he took the decision he took. He has aligned himself with the liberal on this network, who is the most ridiculous guy. I'm sorry that he has nurtured and tutored Jerry successfully, and Jerry is being initiated into the court of the law. Mr. Barkon, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. So all the listeners out there, good afternoon, good morning, whatever you're hearing us from. I'm glad to be here. The child from Buyandoro, Lower Nima County. The privilege to be here.
No, you're not from you to Lofa County now. You're on the Boycott, I don't know that train or ferry. Where is it parking? In Buchanan or Riverside?
The ferry is in Indiana.
In Buchanan?
Yes, Idana, not Indiana. Idana.
Where is that? In Grand Bassa?
It's in Lower Buchanan. When you go into Buchanan, right after Falls there, you'll find Idana right there.
Why I can't carry over Zozo River for it? Why is it doing Buchanan? You're now all the part. You're still there.
Look at accessibility. What the people needed the most, that's what you do first. The people who needed the most. It didn't matter because of where you go, but the people who needed the most.
They're the only people that needed it, right?
That's not what I said. I said the people who needed. See, you try to twist my word. I said the people who needed the most.
How do I know? You didn't tell us.
Based upon the assessment. Based upon the assessment.
Where can we find the assessment?
The man who he made this assessment, Mr. Boyka, at the time he was president, he make the donation, he gave it to the people and say, you know what, based upon his candidature, he make the
entire country is desperately in need. You're single-handedly because of political reasons. You wanted something to be done, so you take it and pack it in that place there. And then you talk about the man who made the assessment. Made the assessment for who? I'm not aware of that assessment. Where can we find that assessment?
Do you know what's going on in Lpr every day? Do you aware of everything that's going on in Lpr? Do you aware of it?
Yeah,
that's the point. Because you know what? You don't want, and you're not going to be here to suffocate or what we'll do, what not to do.
Do you have any regret sometime when we leave these programs? I believe you talk to your liberal. Do you have a regret taking side because you're taking side disadvantage all the rest of the Liberian who should count on you and myself to have these national conversations to give them a sense of direction? But you come here, you defend the defenseless, you and the liberal, and you say whatever you want to say. You deny people right to call in to contribute to talk about your country, and you feel that the country is your entitlement. Do you have that conscience to be sometime go to bed and have a nightmare because of what you and your liberal doing here?
A nightmare for what? A nightmare for what? I mean, you are. I think we need to do some evaluation. You ask some questions.
Hey, Bill, good to have you here.
You know, we got to do some evaluation. We got to do some evaluation on you to ask the question whether.
I'm glad. Describe any medication, I will take it. This is why because you don't like to be told the truth. Now I'm telling you some of the things that some of the things that are happening, and your liberal has confessed big time behind off camera. All right, and you are well. Now you are clinicians. You try to diagnose me now that I need medications. Bring tramadol, I will take
it. Confess or you to confess? No. Yeah, what happened? Nobody's ostracizing about on this show. Everybody had a right to talk. That's why they call it Liberian Public Radio. It's a public access. Everybody have access to speak their mind. We'll never marginalize anybody come on the show to say, yeah, we're going to silence you.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you marginalize.
No, I just
you and your guy Samson told you are the two liberals on this network always strangulate other voices, other Liberians with strong voices.
That's my point. Who are we being strangulating? Who are we being strangulating? Who now come on the show that we choke them?
You sit here, and the liberal will be talking a ridiculous thing, and people will be calling to speak about their country, and he would tell them he has a Chinese phone, and this other person is a sedition, this other person is a 1%, they will not talk, and you will not say anything because you are in support of that. How do you feel?
Listen, the man is a grown man. Whatever he say, he is accountable for it. Whatever I say on the show, I'm responsible for it. So that one aspect of it. But people come here, attack him because of his liberal view, and not because a liberal view, so somebody gonna count. Let me use your own word, sankulate anybody. No, not because you are the red wing. When you're talking your thing on the red wing, wouldn't come here and ostracize you or suffocate you because you're speaking. Oh, you know you're on the red wing, and especially when it comes to our position. Make our position known. What we are, what we stand for.
You look very uncomfortable and guilty of what you are saying this evening.
No, I'm not kidding. What do you mean?
I'm relaxed. So you can
I am relaxed. You know, let me say this first. Next Saturday is my wife's birthday. I mean, a happy move from now to the next Saturday. So I mean, I would say thank God.
He waving a white flag down, so I will pardon him.
It's my birthday coming up. I will be a woman no matter how you try to, how you try to derail me. I'm not going to be in that mood. So forget it.
You know what, Mazon, you're trained security. Now he tried to change it. Said he brought in web days, so I was surrounded and be a little bit. I understand that we're just going to be on a temporary basis. The show is about to get underway. Welcome to the show. Good evening. I'm Alfonso Z and Salt of the Liberal Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome on the Diaspora Informative News outlet. There are two things we take into consideration here. We battle against quantity. We are for quality. We make the news fair, balanced, and proportionate. However, we accommodate all voices. We do not sanction voices. It doesn't matter which political party or institutions, because I don't even know whether they're a political party or social club. They're running here and there. All of them going to UP now. Yesterday, they were CDC. Who knows the next one they're going to be going to. And the most likely, the probabilities of more, the proliferations of more political party is most likely imminent, because that's the only way. So we are here to very shortly. The analysts will be here. Let me bring in Jerry Bacon. Jerry Bacon is a strong supporter of Ambassador, now President Jose Newman Boyka. So I call him Jerry Bacon Washington, formerly a sedition John Joseph Boyka. Let me bring him in here. We're going to have a conversation here. Mr. Bacon, you know, you've been doing a lot of great writing, and you frown on a lot of, you address on a lot of issues. Yet, please hit the share button. If this is the first time, so please just do that. Hey, Esther, good to have you here. Happy Friday. I sent an invite, I think, I put out Esther myself. We'll take on you, Fatumata, and Jerry Bacon. We give you a cadeau. You were out of the liberal. And Esther and myself will have a program here. So you will tell us who you guys are, what you believe in.
Why you always look for people? Why you can't do something by yourself? You always look for a supporter. Why you can't be independent?
You say, I built it. No, this is country. You can be it's a country we're talking about. So I'm not going to be an island. I built This is why you and your God you don't get it. I build consensus. I look for like-minded, free thinkers like myself. Now, you with this party today, the next day when the party is in crisis, in fact, you create crisis in our party and you left. You yet to tell us, you yet to apologize to us why you left CDC, why you supported CDC. This is why you align yourself with the liberal, who also broke the Liberty Party down, killed a premature death. They killed Charles Walker Bronstein, they left him behind Belzon River, and they came behind Billy T. He went to Nyombi Kangalore, all over the place. They didn't recognize him, they didn't know him. He did not come to you, your John beyond Joseph Boyka, and you guys do not have the guts, some of the things that are happening to speak to it. So I built consensus. Now you. Now you.
You done? Are you done?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. See, I don't know how you understand the words. Consensus. To build a political party, you know what it means to start a grassroots party? You know, to start a grassroots party, you know what it means?
You didn't build, you destroy.
I build CDC.
When you build something, you
build CDC. It doesn't mean because you build it, you can destroy it.
Why you left CDCs? Whoever built something and just decided to abandon it, it means you built it on the beach. You put it on the beach. No solid foundation. That's why you left.
Let me ask you a question. The man who built CDC, CNN, where is he today? Mr. Ted Turner, where is he today? Is he still running our network?
So you built CDC, what CDC did for?
No, I just asked you a question. Where is
so that network you built? That CDC network?
You want to admit when people ask you questions, you always try to digress, but you always try to do it. That's why I'm asking you, where is Ted Turner today? Where is Bill Gates today? I mean, the list can go on. Those who have started something, and today they are not in charge of it.
Where is Moroba Molo? Where is Atom Zakama? Where is Aziva Tuba? Yeah, all of your buildings. Where are they? When to scatter all over, like a lion enters something. What do you want to tell me here? You didn't build. You built psychometry, and all you guys left us with the young generation with backpack on your back. You guys introduced that because you never had a vision for the country. You never had a defined agenda. The whole South, you guys, they are the generator of that South. Am I lying? Okay, let's have a conversation. All right, he's frozen right now. So that's how I can do that. These liberals to come on this network and they want to sanction our people. Welcome, very shortly. The rest of the group going to be here. A lot of news making headline. As soon as Mr. Bacon comes back, we will be having this conversation. And hopefully, the rest of the group going to be joining us. In the meantime, let's play this quick commercial commitment, and I will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services, and your friends in business.
Okay.
Hello, listeners. This is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful, inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you.
The lover boys of the Liberal Public Radio on Lpr-Tv. Now, Mazola Gizi is based in PA, Lpr Bureau. We say good evening. We say welcome. But this is the first time we say you are on the official news outlet of the Liberal Public Radio, and we throw a rare carpet for you. But we have our own taboo. We have one or two things here. We don't usually say it your way, the way you want us to say it. We are more or less with the entertainment aspect. We are not MC Carol and hold me tight there. They can do the entertainment, but there are a lot to be done. So we have on this conversation, putting a little bit jokes in here and there because we have to do it. But it's more serious. We need to have this conversation. And this network is integrations of people from different backgrounds, different political differences. But we accommodate them, these views. We ask them tough questions. We as a media institution, we are not a resistant group. We are not against the government. We are not for the government. We are not against the opposition, but we stand in the gap to intercede so that you, ordinary citizens in right mind, like myself, to make informed decision. Joining us from the Garden City is one of the supporters of the Boashi. That's the thing about it. This network is infested with a lot of Boashi supporters. Yet they are all proteges of the Unity Party. You have the Helen Johnson Sally Unity Party wing, Joseph Boyka Unity Party wing. I don't know whether Jeremiah Kung where he's going to be at the end of the day. But notwithstanding, we have this conversation. Fair balance. Koto Jalabalayan is our senior analyst based in the Garden City of New Jersey. Is joining the conversation here. I don't know the changing ship. Jared back on gone and bring in another B. They can't make it. I don't know where they are labor at tonight. They're on their own. Good evening. Oh, let's see here. Your microphone was muted. Are you there?
Yes, sorry for that. Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, good evening and welcome to the show. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Mr. Stone, and happy Friday to the people of Liberia and around the world. I'm glad to be here today, and I'm here. We are here.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
talk. Let's carry on the discussion.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get around the discussions. What's going on what are we hearing? Too much going on. Who this Dr. Conte guy here? What the heck is going on in that country? I know you to be one of the supporters of the Boashi, but you always speak truth to the power. Unlike the Liberal and his Jerry Bacon, they are. I don't think President Boyka likes to listen to these two gentlemen because if they were providing counsel to the executive mansions of President Joseph Boyka, that would be disaster. But let's have a conversation here. It's too much unfolding here. Where are we falling short? What is happening? What are you hearing from your end? There are a lot of conversation in the airspace now, a lot of mistake. The president not doing this one not doing this, yellow machine, from yellow machine to black machine, from black machine to police, car, police, keke car coming. Why people are making all this, who's seeking attention?
Thank you, Mr. So, it's like, what I've observed is that, when you have like a man or a woman who have left a relationship and seeing some progress in that past relationship, they turn to like tarnish or whatever it may be. But howbeit, we are strong to this. When we talk about the Unity Party that I supported in power, which brought in the Joseph Buckeye government and Jeremiah Kuhn, I see somewhere they are going, even though there will be missteps that we expect. We don't expect 100%.
I don't
But
expect.
we are in the background, like we question some of the things, and because we question it, I'm glad that there are been some clarity and or some answer, to some of our questions and things. Unlike other than that,
The only
unlike
answer,
other.
so the only answer you guys are supporting, what's about all who have different political views? They can't, why they can't answer us? They will only answer,
Well,
they answer
the
you,
thing about
they
it,
answer you, are coming, they answer you, they answer Terry Collins, they answer Jerry Bacon, something to why are they not answering me? They're not answering Dr. Mali.
why are you saying that I'm answering you? I listen to all of the voices. We are all Liberians. So you may think they're not listening to you, but in analysis, what with the many questions come in, you not as a leader sit and study what is coming in and then respond to them, not in an individual manner, but in a general level. I ain't going to say I'm answering Mr. Bago, I'm answering Mr. So, individually. No, on a general level, it's what the response is coming in. And what as a leader will address is what the leader will be addressing. Now you okay because Mr. So said it, I answer Mr. So individually, go no. But if you say you're not answering, you're not getting response to what you're saying, it means that there is certain way you want and you don't, and that's not how the president wants it to be done.
All right.
So
I would give you artificial migraine here this evening. Other than that, we're not getting straight. Jerry Bacon, when he finished taking your talent, no, he back. So I hope he's doing well. Mr. Bacon, are you back with us?
Yeah, my computer was giving me a hard time, so I'm using my phone. But it's all right, I'm back.
Yeah, you know what? Because Ghana led back, your tab and too much, so that while you're in your computer, everything now goes off. Your computer all going off.
I don't know. You're Jesus Christ to be, the people who would say no.
Okay, all right. Yeah, try and work on that.
If you're using your phone, then you have to put on do not disturb, or else it will keep bothering you. Mr. Barker. Yeah, Mr. Barker. That's why I keep getting that sound. Yeah.
You were speaking from man from door and we. There you go. Okay, it's comfortable to have you here today. It's Friday, so we're going to open this microphone here.
TGIF, thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. And it's a very nice weather. Oh, the Boasians, the grandchildren, the children of the Boasians are coming in. I don't know why. This is, let me bring in, you see, patron. All of them, they support the government, which is a good thing. We don't stop people. Tara Collins, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So and Siskoto Balayan
So,
from Lofa County.
Oh, well, now you have to add all of that there.
Besides
well, we got to add.
Let me ask you, Terry, besides the official chat group, you get another chat group I am not part of, right?
Not really. Not that I know of. If there's another chat, I am not part of that particular thing. I'm not, I don't know.
Yeah, but Jared told me here.
All right, I'm back. Thank you.
There's a chat. There, you guys who support boycott, there's a chat, and I am not part of that chat. It is a liberal Samson to created that chat as a chief administrator. Porto is a article next, and then of course Jared Boykin is there. So you left me out. You left
I don't know about that chat.
Yeah, I know the sedition left.
I don't know about that chat.
Polluted your mind, and it's bothering you sometimes. So
Maybe that's the progressive chat, but I'm not a progressive, so they won't add me in the chat. So I'm not part of it.
Why are you always fabricate story?
Terry, right?
You.
Okay, guys. Good evening. Happy Friday to all. Let's have the conversation here. Look, again, this network here, we're not a resistant movement against the government, the opposition. We stand in a gap to have critical conversation to make sure all voices are heard, and the folks here, they have the right to support any institutions or any group or the set. This is why they're having these headache they are having, because when you take a side now, then you will have to give justifications of what you support in the past. You see me? I don't have this guy just coming from taking Tylenol, ibuprofen, milligram because he tried to fix something that cannot be fixed. For me, I'm not taking anything. Joy, we are work out well meaning. All I want is better Liberia. Guys, let's have it. Let's see what
Mr. Bacon, your background, is that a piano president we are playing? I don't know that background.
The man I see this evening. The man come to you to Casper. Man.
I don't know. I just asked him.
Is what I doing to you? You said that the piano joy we are playing. Oh, that's the one. It looks like the one. What the other song? That Zion Grove Baptist type song there.
The one with Bugger was playing when he went to the church.
At least he went to church. At least he went to church. That's a good part. That's a good part. He went to church.
Let's do our own grading system. But beyond that, there are a lot of things happening. And let me just bring it up quickly. One is I've been reading the library investigators, Lina Doru and other legendary journalists, breaking real information. And we'll be having a conversation sooner or later, if it goes well, we will be having the contributor from the library investigators, how it came about, what is the motive, the proliferations of all of these, both electronic and print media. And they came up with this story here, this Dr. Conte guy here. And now it's becoming massive. Dr. Al-Hassan Conte is what goes around the capital's enclave. So he's a guy in entering person, but there are a lot of information surfacing right now regarding him. We all saw what was happening with the diplomat in Nigeria with his daughter. And allegedly, Conte, nothing much, as far as we are concerned, nothing much is being done. And people are now frying, human rights group are now frying on it. He acting as an acting president or caretaker or whatever it is, the president. Was that a sagacious decision here? Terry, you are more or less the moderate guy. Jerry Bacon, 0. Cotto, yes. Jerry Bacon and Samson Toll, they are in their own world. Now, these mistakes, I don't know the intensity, the level of it, but should the president be a little bit, because now, yeah, he tried to stabilize it, but he brought in somebody, and all of these stories, this is not a new thing, they've been all around the place, and more revelations coming out. Who is the president entangling himself, or who is entangling the president?
So, to be honest with you, that was the other day I brought in that talking point that from the Sano County Senator Augustine Chie appeared on the OKFM, and he said because there's a caucus thing blew out of proportion, and people started, there was a fight in Sano and other parts of the caucus. The caucus there was a rift among them. And he said he was able to meet the president, and when they sat down and talked, the president told him that all these people that they bring into me, I do not know them.
Welcome the broom man.
Yeah.
Okay,
I brought my 3 straws. No 3 straws left. I brought all 3 with me. So
Happy anniversary in advance.
Thank you, bro.
However, so he said clearly that the president, in front of the vice president, told him that most of these people that they bring into him, he don't know them. You understand? And so, but I don't know. I'm hearing that he knows this guy, but how well he knows him, how well he know the guy, because there are too many things coming up, too many news about this particular guy.
So Terry, I will hold you there. I don't like to interrupt. If people bring who bringing who?
That's why I said that was something that I pick up in that interview with a senator that really shocked me, because it means that these are the reasons why there have been mistakes along the way, because there are people just recommending people and putting their name down and giving them jobs, and the president is not overviewing. He don't have real overview of all these people that are coming into the government. Even if you don't know, I don't expect the president to know everybody, but I expect him to do some evaluation.
Okay. That's more or less is an independent mind. Sister, good evening to welcome. Jared Bacon and Fatuman, they are not thinking in that direction. Wait and see what Jared Bacon is about to say. You see, he's scratching your head. So he know he can sound more ridiculous here again tonight. Jared Bacon, you listen to Terry.
My hands are free. My hands are free.
Okay, that's all right. No problem.
Well, with this situation,
yeah, who are you telling these people? You
Jesse?
President Boyka? Yeah, you recommend.
I have not made no recommendation to. I never made any recommendation to the Excellency, any individual for any position in the Republic of Liberia. Let's get that clear. I know Boyka very well for the past 20 years. I've been doing Mr. Boyka, so I know him very well. I know what he stood for and who he is. That's why he said we got to build the what we're going to leave for the generation that come. So I know he had a good vision for Liberia. But with the individual here, I just came across it today. I have not digested, so I cannot speak in details of this situation. I don't want to mislead our audience, and I don't want to comment on it because I don't have a detail before me.
Yeah. They do, and we guy. You have about Mel. You on Newsbreak like myself, you throw things in the group chat, you say you just saying it today, so you don't get details, you don't want to speak. Or is there another way of pleading the fifth? You want to
I just told you, the audience, I do not have a detail for that reason. I will not want to speak to it because I don't want to put my credibility on the line. And I don't know, I don't want to, tomorrow when you come and ask me, you say, but you said this, I don't want to implicate myself. So for that reason, I can speak on another topic that concern me. The yellow machine, Mr. Boyka, he is the steward.
Okay, yeah.
No. I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
How far with opening machine? Let me go.
I can. Okay, you see.
No, they gotta be there on the side. Not why you want. I am driving this other train here, not you. So you're not gonna impose what you want to say. I want you to say something to my audience.
Oh, so you see how I feel when the shoe is on the other foot, right? When Mr. Toy is doing it, he say, "Oh, Mr. Toy is a liberal," but now you the red wing. When we try to say something, and you say you try to ostracize us, you try to suffocate us. That's all right.
Okay. Well,
I will wait my time.
Who can run wrong? Who can run state? Let me go to Madam Balayant. Kato, look, let's talk to me here. With these things, the issue of this content, based on what Terry is saying, I mean, it's natural. People always recommend people, but it's becoming a pattern from one thing to another, from one thing to another. I personally feel these things, when it happen, it takes away the real message of the government and it becomes a distraction. And two, how the government itself address these issues, that matters. And that is not happening. That where my own personal disappointment is coming from. And Terry spoke to that the other day with administrative information as to how they execute the government message. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, or maybe I'm heading ahead of my own shadow. It's not being that effective, or either slow, or not getting ahead of the game when they should be. This contact guy with all of this information come here. The president gets a lot of good folks around him. And maybe it's another deceit because people do not tell people the truth. And we do not expect the president to know all that is happening around the spheres for he to know. This is why he gets his advisor. Why some of these people here, without me not knowing yet, do you think they that really been honest, or you think they told the president say, okay, we're gonna water it down, nothing gonna come out of it, elaborate people as usual to talk, and that's the end of it. What do you think about this guy here? He is a diplomat, an ambassador. We saw that story just even around the election, more coming out now. You people, they're throwing into now, other than they jump in the sour business, every little thing, then they jump into it.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. So, you know, not many people will know this, but when it comes to politics and appointing people in a leadership role, there comes all of their dirty clothes that will be coming out there. Okay, like for example, we all are here right now on this Lpr show. We know one another for a while now, but there are some other things that we might not know about one another. And if for some reason being that we have been knowing one another, I would say, okay, let me trust Mr. So with a position that, you know, just if I'm in a position and decide to appoint Mr. So, and then some of Mr. So dirty clothes starts to come out, or people against Mr. So try to create some situation, you know, for Mr. So. Mind you, there is that era, don't mind it, is educational institution, but it is politicized. We had the past leadership, loyalists dead, and then we have the incoming loyalists. So in that line, you're going to see a lot of things surfacing because in the first place, some people started saying that they should not have taken the past the leadership, you know, from power. And that struggle will be there. And that's where the struggle comes. Oh, okay, because we have our man in who is our supporter, he is not there. We will try to go against the other person. I ain't just saying it that way, but I'm not, I can tell you vividly that I know Mr. Content, no. But there will be those uprise, you know, the uprise that will be coming against him or for him. And that's why I'm speaking for. So Mr. President making an appointment, he does not know everything about the person that he appointing. So that's why you, as an appointee, you got to be very careful. That's why I tell people we in politics, we got to be very careful. Sometimes we make reckless statements. Sometimes we do some unnecessary thing. Then when we are appointed into positions, these things follow us.
Okay.
And it could be. That's what's happening. But for
So-
me, and the thing is, you can't just come because somebody say, Mr. So is this person, and you don't conduct investigation and just go and remove. No, you have
Right.
to carry on investigation, and if in fact these things are true, then you can take a step, but not just anybody, because you mind that every day, you know, and Harry will come and tell you that this person is that, move this person from there, and that's not a good administrative, you know, procedure to take. To just keep dismissing and removing, you know, and that, I think that's what is it.
Yeah, okay, good. And fair analysis, and he's not gonna, then that's the reason you have all of his advisors. And sorry, before I go to Mr. Boyer quickly here, do you think you as a supporter, I want my country to succeed. I want the president to succeed, because the better Liberia becomes, the better we all going to do, the better the society, more or less, those that are there and the country will flourish. Do you think it is time now for the president maybe to have a second thought to look at, because our understanding there should be a vetting team, and they might go, and it's obvious because the country is polarized. People can say anything, people can do anything, and it might take a time to get to the truth.
Yeah, but Mr. So, to the point, it was from the council. The council make that selection.
Yeah.
But the president is not just come out to appoint him. It was based on their meeting they had. They appointed Content. It's not just the president that came out and just made that appointment.
Fair to say that, because I saw that
Yes.
and the president said with the advice and consent with the trustee. Okay, yeah, we
Yes.
are now, things coming. let me hold you, pause you a little bit. Let me bring Kings say it because that is area. Mr. Goya, when this thing here, the university is the higher institutions of learning, and all of the politics and with all of the former leaders, they all went through that war. This is where they get here, they've been nurtured and all of that. But what we see happening in today's world is quite far different. And because society has evolved, you as an educator, when you see these kind of things happening, what comes to mind if you were in the shoe of the president, which of course you are not, and it would be ridiculous to put you there this evening here. But what do you think going on now with this kind of emergent information, even though they came up before? Now, the board of trustees, so there are people who also deceive national government leaders because they just won't satisfy everything the president say. Yeah, they would not raise their finger in an honest fashion or after the meeting to say, "Oh, Mr. President, I didn't want to say this, say that because we're in a gathering." But this is my opinion. I don't know what is possible. If you were in that case, will you be bold to speak to the kind of thing? If you knew or you heard something, why it is not being proven?
You are asking me if I will eat my own baby. You saw how many times I chew my own baby on this platform. But my sister Koto, is nice seeing you. It's been a minute. It's good to have you back, and Mr. Barker and Terry. Look, let me say a few things. If President Joseph Boakai knew everybody that he appointed into government, I would be severely disappointed in him. Because that would mean that he's playing with a very small subset of the educated and capable Liberian class. It is impossible for the president to know a large swath of qualified people, and these are hundreds of people that he has to hire. So for people who say that the president does not know this person, I don't think that should be the argument, because the president is not going to know everybody. If he knows everybody, that means he playing with a very small deck of people, a very, very tiny subset, and that would be very disappointing, and that would be very dangerous for our democracy and for Liberia. Now, having said that, the buck stops at the desk of the president. Nowhere else. There is a reason you have a minister of state. He serves as the chief of staff to the president. It is his work, should be his work, to vet recommendations before forwarding them to the president. The president and this administration have had enough examples to learn from during the CDC time, when the likes of McGill were appointing people and they didn't do their work. We saw the one Bodiki, he was this and he was not that. We saw all of that. They should have learned from that. But sadly, in our Liberian political system, or in our leadership culture, our political leadership culture, we don't reflect. And that is one thing that is missing, is reflection. What did the last government do so poorly? How can we avoid that? And that wasn't done. So do I expect the president to know everybody? No. Do I expect him to take accountability for people he appoints? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're asking about the decision at the University of Liberia regarding President Conte, you know my position on that. And I'm going to lay it back down here and begin with Zauro Nelson, the man before him. Zauro Nelson should not have been president of the University of Liberia with a degree in divinity. That is disrespectful to a research institution. That's the reason you even got one research published. You get somebody with a divinity degree to lead the nation's foremost institution, highest institution of learning. That was disrespectful to the Liberian people. CDC should not have done that. So Zauro Nelson should have been gone the very day President Boakai took office. Now,
that did not happen.
Do what?
I said that did not.
You know, it didn't happen. It took a little bit of time. It took protest before he got taken out of there. Now, having said that, a proper replacement should not have been. I've said it here. Should not have been the former president of the University of Liberia. I've said it here. One of the problems we have is, yes, the Board of Trustees make the recommendation to the visitor to the university, who is the President of the Republic, and he most times, or she, in the case of Ellen, most times act upon their recommendation. So if you're President Boakai, or you are future President Gonglo, or you are future President Kumis, or whoever is going to be future president, if you want to make sure that you're not having these problems, you have to ensure that the makeup of your board, whatever board there is, that is charged with a statutory requirement to make those recommendations, that first of all, that they're independent and that their proceedings are not in secret. For example, have there been a published list of candidates that were considered from which Conte was chosen?
Was chosen, correct.
We don't know that. And it was so fast when you got
okay, quickly now.
Real Here is the bigger problem that people are not even looking at. And I keep saying that. You have former President Conte, non-President Conte, leading a such team to head the University of Liberia to clean up some of the mess that he had done in the past. How do we expect him to be unbiased? If somebody came that is really, really qualified and say, we're going to change this, and those are some of the things that he Conte oversaw, would he approve that person to be sent through? It is just the process is not transparent. We will hope that the University of Liberia would have published their names of finalists that they were looking at to be able to make a selection, so we know what were the list of people they had and who they picked from there. But they didn't do that. So everything that's done in secrecy, is tried in secrecy, will come up this way with this kind of craziness.
In a nutshell, probably I could be wrong here, but what I try to forecast and capture from what you're saying, most likely this guy, he left some dirty dishes in the sink, and the pump wasn't even getting the water down, and at the same time, it's not possible to fix this yet. So at this junction here, let me bring in Terry. Terry, you listen to what Sister said.
Yeah, I think I have a different view to that. You know, I don't know what is the requirement for one becoming the head of a university. I don't know if they have to have some kind of degree in maybe.
Now, the pastor is being provoked now because
well, I'm not provoked actually, but I don't think somebody with the degree in divinity have anything to do.
You're excluding the party.
Let me tell you something. It is just intellectual. That is academic. There's no academic institution of higher learning that does that, and it's even in the LU chapter. So I'm not speaking because he's a pastor, and not about the gob in it. It's just the divinity degree does not hold up to be able to lead institution like that. That's just a fact.
No, but no, it's not a fact. It's because the man led the position without being denigrated by other higher learnings that he's not qualified to lead. So that is not a fact. There's a rule that says that you cannot hold divinity degree and become head of.
Go read the UL chapter. I'm telling you that. So don't. It's just
but because
let me call the cake here.
But anyway,
go look at it. I'm just telling you a fact. It's not about whether you got it in Bible or you got it in 2 Thessalonians 3:4. It's not the point I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with the fact that is not
what I'm going to take my argument to add to a little layer where Sissy said, probably who are put to arrest. Do you think, Mr. Collins, probably we have publications of individuals? We don't know. And nobody have told anything. Well, there are other people's names were put forward. So if they were put forward, how was this whole process streamlined to get to this point? And here we are now, we have another 1 more decade at Capitol Hill, this one, I mean, you are not, how you call it, Supreme Court or whatever it is here. Do you think it were put to rest? If names were put forward, the public, I'm not saying the president want to make his judgments on the public opinion, but things we are going to hear something. But anything that happens, that year can come to time. Nobody has provided an explanation. That speaks to the point you mentioned the last time of the administrative information. the Ministry of Information is not jumping ahead, and they are the mouthpiece of the government. When these things start to happen, they should be the first to wash it away and put it to a rest by addressing this issue. Go ahead.
So I agree with you, Mr. So the president should have done vetting. That's why I said earlier on, the president said to Daniel, to Mr. Che, and even Augustine Che was shocked. That's why he said it on Spoon Talk. I mean, not on Spoon, but on OKFM, that the president said most of these people, he don't know them. Even the people from Lofa County that is going into the places, he don't know them. And he told his people that they should work along with the senators. So when he said that, now we're not talking about knowing somebody like, oh, I know Sese. No. It is the responsibility of the president to have an overview of the person he's employing or is going to take office under his leadership. It is his responsibility as well. You cannot rest that responsibility wholly and solely on the Minister of State. Because if anything goes wrong, you will be held liable for whatsoever damage is going to cause. And that was the reason why most of the senators have issue with the caucus. Because they are most of the people that were recommended for those positions did not go through the proper procedure. So President Boga was telling the senator that, hey, most of these people coming, even the people from Lofa, I don't know them. So I told my people that they should work along with the senators. But he was trying to appeal to the senator that these are things that he is not ready to abreast of. And I thought that was the reasons why the president, that we have been seeing mistakes, wherein one person is nominated, you withdraw the person, and then you re-nominate them again. Or the person going for hearing, you call them and get them a letter, say you must not go. After everybody know that this person has been given a letter of appointment. So these are the things that are happening. But if this particular guy in question was really vetted, we won't be having this kind of conversation. All right. But again, if somebody bring this man to the president, if somebody, I thought you were doing advertisement. If somebody have recommended this guy and the president would have been informed as regarding this particular guy and all his shenanigans and all of that which is the work of the Minister of State and all of that, to give the president information as regarding the persons or the people that are going to be employed in very key positions. All right. If the president would have been properly informed by his Minister of State, I don't think we'll be having this kind of problem. So if I was the president to be under, even though the Grace P. man, I think he's an innocent guy, but if I were the president and you having these kind of flaws in all of these appointments, I would have either fired the Grace P. man or I would have relieved him or I would have suspended him. Because if anything goes wrong in these various positions and where everybody is chewing this man up on social media and all of that, that means that it is the fault. It is the fault of my Minister of State. So,
okay.
So these are the things.
Can I just make a few things?
After
one thing I want, and just real quick, one thing I want Terry to understand when I talk about the divinity doctrine is because it lacks research in it. And I'm telling you this because even when our brother Dr. Mali is here, if you watch, he will put education doctorate. He will not put PhD. That's a difference. He's a doctor. He's not a PhD. So that's why when we talk about that divinity doctrine, it's not about the fact that he didn't do Thessalonians 3:4. It's just the research.
What you don't understand about divinity doctrine, you do everything. You do.
I'm telling you, just based on international standards.
You're not doing Bible only. You're doing a lot of things. You're doing different courses. Again,
did I say you don't do a lot of things? You also read Genesis.
But you said Thessalonians, Genesis. That's why when you get divinity doctrine, you're not just learning about Bible.
I'm telling you now. Okay, hold on. The divinity doctorate and educational doctorate is not a PhD. Those are different.
Okay, I agree.
If you have the time,
I do agree. No, I agree that one. But
that is what I talked about. That was why I said he has a divinity doctorate. He should not have been leading that, but he doesn't have a research PhD. That was the point.
Okay. Okay, I understand. I understand your point now.
Then the second,
So
the
let me
second
for the
process,
Your preference would have been a PhD holder,
it is
right?
exactly what I said. I said he had a divinity degree. And if you didn't understand what it was, you
Okay.
should have rushed to divinity. You should have asked me for more. But here's the last piece. Here's the last piece, Mr. And I shut up. The president does not vet in any country his appointees. Yes, I agree to the end that Grace B should be held accountable because he is the chief of staff to the president. And I'll give you a few examples here. Chad Wolf was nominated by Donald Trump to be Secretary of Homeland Security. He was withdrawn without going to confirmation because things came up. Ronnie Jackson, Veteran Affairs, also withdrawn because things came up. Andrew Posner, Labor, also withdrawn. Barack Obama, George Gregg was also withdrawn. And if you go to Bill Richardson, former governor of New Mexico, was also withdrawn. So these things happen. The problem is, what is the corrective mechanism that is being put in place? You cannot, if this is something that continues to happen, then the president needs to check his vetting process. But you cannot expect the president to check everybody that he appoints into government.
I'm not saying that.
Okay, you want to?
I'm not saying that the president. Yeah, I'm not saying that the president will have to know everybody. All right. In any given time, the president got more than 500 persons to employ. But when we talk about knowing, from the standpoint of knowing somebody, it is your responsibility as a president to have overview of everybody you are employing.
It's not possible.
Okay, let me add a little layer to what Terry is saying. Maybe if I'm wrong, Terry, probably my guess, what you are saying here is considering the position this guy was going to occupy in a sort of volatile society, perhaps you think the president will have had a conference with him? Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly. Also, Mr. So, at least the president should have known who am I going to deputy, the guy that is recommended to replace the previous guy that was there. The president should have known who the guy is. Besides that, what I also say, I'm not saying that the president is supposed to know or everybody that is being recommended for the caucus, everybody that is being recommended in the government. So there's the reason now. Because the president do not have an oversight view, like what he named John Molu recommended, the vetting process. The vetting process will inform the president as regarding most of the people he is employing, that he will not have to literally know you in person. But based upon the vetting structure, he will be able to understand the people that have been in his employ. Simple as that.
Let me bring in Jerry and Cotto here. They are nice potatoes right now. Let's see who's going to settle this here. Mr. Bacon.
Yeah.
Are you surprised of this sort of conversation?
No, I'm not. I mean, that's what make it healthy for everyone to also participate in the discussion. We might have different views what are happening. Like I said from the beginning, but now I begin to understand. But when it comes to the presidency, I one of those, Mr. Sisi and myself spoke, I think 3 or 4 days ago on the university issue, where he gave a good presentation. The board of trustees of the University of Liberia, they need to be independent, whereby they will not be oversight by the president because it's an appointed position. I said it before the other day. Then when it comes to Terry, my brother, quality is interest. Bear in mind, quality is interest. Those who contributed to your campaign, their interest, and the president have to do it. Even in the great United States, people I can need, like the ambassador to Alan Renner, was somebody who the president, Mr. Joseph Bogai, let me say Joseph Bogai. I didn't know him that much.
Why did he say Uncle Joe calling VP? You liberals. Yeah.
The position, interest position with the president, because those are the people who have made contribution to your campaign. And most of the time, they have some in a cookie jar and say, Mr. President, I need Jerry Bacon to go to so place. And these are the facts. So everything, the president might not know every one of us. But the question here is, we all have a responsibility to our country. Let us do it. It's not because of partisan, it's not because of self-interest, but let's give the people what they want, especially when it comes to our education system. the individuals that we carry into the place are the future of our nation. So who going to lead our nation tomorrow when we all are gone? These are the people who are going to succeed us. You must say here today because we have some sort of education. So it will be just honest for us to carry people who do not have the capability to lead our nation. I think I sent something today. What happened at the University of Liberia? I sent it in our chat room. There's a demonstration going on. I think I sent it in the chat room today. So we have, especially the University of Liberia, it's a critical institution for the public. It's a public institution. The government run it. So we have to be very careful how we go about doing it. That's what I want to say.
Let me bring Koto in this first. Koto post a season on this fry fish here this evening.
Yeah, Mr. So I see people like trying to blame the president on this appointment. This is not the president's, appointment he made. That's why you have various institutions giving the responsibility. No, it's a trustee. Excuse me, yes. The responsibility was given to the trustee, and they are the one to make this decision, especially when it comes to the institution. So if you say the trustee will fail, then I'm surprised of that, because they now should be in the position to at least come up with a better candidate. But in fact, this content man is just acting. He's not the permanent president, the appointee for now. He's just like, okay, they said, let him be acting until they can select the right president for the institution. So he's not just anybody can say right now, he is the head. He's acting president. And being acting, it was not just done by the president to just jump up and pick it to select him. It was the responsibility was given to the trustee. And so you tell me now that the trustee there is not responsible enough to come up with somebody that they can trust. And besides, you selecting this group, it could be one or two persons within that trustee that will be disgruntled. And they will create a situation, a scene that will destabilize the institution there. This is a fight that we know. That just one or two men will start, gathering people, or sometimes using these very, like what we saw, like the one I saw, Mr. Bacon poster in there. You will have individual collecting, group of people to send that in the street because of their interest. And that's why. So most of these things, it is true that you, the president, now the problem will go on your head. But this one, I really want to hold the trustee responsible, because this should be. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So what you are telling me here is like a person was on the crime scene and they saw something horrible taking place, and they knew it was going to backfire and walk away. Are we also aware the president is a visitor? Unless if there's a rule in your handbook that I don't know and I have to find out. The president is a visitor to the University of Liberia, the state-run higher institutions of learning. Are we seeing it is not within the purview of the president to also make his voice heard, even though the board or whatever trustee recommended it? Are their recommendations in black and white? Is not reversible?
I'm not saying it's not reversible, but it will be the first thing to
you don't want to. You are excluding the president. You were trying to exclude the president as not being part of the decision making. Even though it comes from the trustee, I understand that, but he is not just any other person. There's nothing that will go on without the president being concerned. Maybe his conversation that will be minimal. But what I'm trying to gather from you is like the president, we shouldn't just, he is, like Cesar said, he's the state commander in chief. If the minister of defense, the president have the right to release the Minister of National Defense if he is not carrying out the duties and function to safeguard the motherland. You can't say, oh, because at the end of the day, we will hold him. I didn't elect Conte. We elected President Boycott. So all the decision must be, Jared Bacon is feeling uncomfortable with what I'm saying.
Yeah, Mr. So, to a point on that.
Because that's a ridiculous example you gave what I meant on the crime scene.
You know what I have noticed us in Liberia, unlike the defense minister, unlike the defense minister that came out to resign when those issues were coming out against him, you hardly find Liberians when they have critical issue on them to say, let me resign or release my power because of this accusation on me. And which is not right. Because if you know that these things are coming out against you and they are all against you, why don't you resign? You could easily say, okay, let me leave the post, and then you'll find trust person, to occupy the position. But you will see, some will not do it. They will sit there until the disgrace come upon them. Okay. So now it is true that the president will take the full responsibility, but also that you as an individual too try to make the right thing done. If you have these things, allegations, against you, try to correct them.
Honestly, I don't think he has anything to lose. It is the president that is there. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back and then we'll get back. This is what you guys do. You all want to be here, Jerry, back on telling me I'm being ridiculous because I mentioned something. But anyway, we'll be right back. The conversation is in full swing.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations.
Of this year. And folks, if this is the first time, this is the Liberia Public Radio. We are also available via YouTube, to LinkedIn, Facebook. Subscribe, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Follow us as well. That way you will get an immediate instant notification. Somebody audio is on. If you get something on, please go in. Instant notification. That way, if we are on, you will get an alert. And of course, we also welcome your suggestions, your comments as to how we can enhance. If you want to be part of these national conversations, let us know. Let's go back to the live view. And let's go into our analyst playbook. I don't want Jerry to leave from here and go tell his liberal. So restricted our movement as he does usually. That's not the case. I want to wash this off my hand because definitely he's going to run that. Fatu here tweeting, where is Toe? Today is not Toe's show. Why would you want to ask something Toe? I told him not to come. I don't need him here today. So you see, he's not here. The conversation is peaceful. No drama here today. Okay, let's get the ball rolling. Terry, let's go into your playbook. And I'm going to be putting the number on here as well. What are other concerns you want to share with us?
Well, I think the yellow machine is finally going down gradually since the president wrote the letter to the House. we see a slow death on the yellow machine saga that have rang a serious discouragement to the entire House of Representatives. So my thing is, what is the next option? But there are a lot of things, and the outcry of the people seems to be getting louder from the word on the street in regard to the yellow machine. People are not saying that, whether a President Boka is making a corrupt deal or not, the yellow machine must come. My thing is that healthy for our democracy? Is that healthy for our country? Is that healthy for the laws? In as much as I supported the yellow machine, I support it not 100% for the rule. I support it. But if the procedure is not followed, because you can't say that, the machine is already in the country, and then in the president letter, he says that he is negotiating. So how can you be negotiating for something that is already here? So that raised serious concerns. But because of the high level of corruption from the house, both houses, there are other news that are saying, people say, oh, Musa Berete get yellow machine. How you manage to bring it in the country? Yeah, and many other things. So these are just some of the things that I thought that needed to be highlighted again so that we can finally lay it to rest.
Yeah, maybe you left something else. You said corruption in the house. Corruption in the executive as well?
Well, Mr. So corruption is in the executive. I'm not going to be, like I told you, I'm a neutral man. Corruption is in the executive.
Come on, you're not a neutral. How will you say you're neutral?
I'm neutral. I support President Barker, but I'm not going to see wrong and defend it.
Yeah, but that's you when you support, that's a defense, that's a position. You don't have to be a unity party. I can say I'm a neutral guy here. With 4 of you, 5 here. I am Dr. Mali and myself here. But anyway, okay, let me bring in Mr. Bacon. Mr. Bacon.
Yes, sir.
Yellow machine. Why do you think prompted this whole yellow machine? Where this gap, disconnect comes, where it comes from? Who should have done something about it to avoid this talking? And the reason is, yes, we all have the critical minds to ask this thing about it. At the end of the day, the person that is in Grandview, the person that is in Sando, the person that is in Maryland, that farmer, he or she thinks how to get their crops to town. But again, if you can't explain, you can't tell people something and you leave them hanging, then that's where the problem comes in. And I think this one here, I will put it squarely on the Ministry of Information that failed to provide maybe detailed information on having close consultation with the executive as a mouthpiece of the government to just jump on that thing quickly, but they wait until when thing turns, it becomes viral, then they want to do the damage control. Let me hear you.
You know, I don't know where people are. Maybe some people need to study government. I don't know how some of them got the position in the first place anyway. Because
I thought you were talking to me.
No, maybe you need to go study a legal tier 101 or government, introduction to government. I think probably you understand it very well. You know what our government function. Or maybe you need to go to service again. Probably you'll get it very well. But I put it in the chat room. Look in the chat room. You can put it up, please. If you can put an article up with the revenue, ARA. Put it up there. Please, if you can. The people who exempt from taxes in our country. I put it up there, please. Can you do that for me if you can?
But I'm talking yellow machine, Bennett, you go to taxes, Bennett.
Come in, my man. I learned the foundation before you. I know you are a teacher. Before you start teaching the children, you gotta lay the foundation before you go to the subject matter. You can't just go straight to the conclusion of your presentation in the classroom.
How the sedition remnant can be when they quick to get upset.
I'm not upset. I'm calm like a demon. I'm very cool. I'm very cool. As I told you today,
we gotta say, and not you. We will say Jerry is cool. You're not acting cool right now. You're not cool. You still think about the
I'm cool. I like my brother. Unless as if I love him. I love him. But I just look. I said this week.
So, no, I was just asking.
What a minute ways. Yeah. Why you always try to suffocate me, my brother? Let me land.
You in the air?
Yeah. See, you refuse to put it up there. Those are the people, the government, Republic of Ministry, legislature. These are the people who has. Hey, yeah.
No, what I'm saying, it takes time. You can't just put it up. It takes time. You got to download. But
okay. Why are you doing that? But here's the thing. I put in the chat room. These are the people, the government agency, medical supply, diplomat. These are the people who are free from duty-free in our country. Let's go back to history. For me, I like history. And I like my brother too because he said he less statistics. So myself, I like history because even for you to know something, it's less statistics. So myself, I like history. 1964, Lanco came to Liberia. Who negotiated the deal? William V.S. Studman. Point number one. Beaumont, who negotiated the deal? William V.S. Studman. Firestone, Barclay. Bommy Hills. I mean, all the companies. who was the president at that time that negotiated these things? So for them to come here on the show in the legislature, probably they need to go back to history. That's why I say probably I don't know whether they studied government or they just ran as a politician and just go out there and just talk because they're talking. But Mr. Boyka is on point. The blueprints are there. Hold on. The blueprint are there. The blueprint are there. Where they're supposed to investigate those are who talking today? When the gun came to Liberia on a Georgia administration, whoever investigated the gun that was seized at the new Freeport.
Jerry Bacon, don't do that to us here.
Come here. You see,
no, don't do that.
Listen, my man. Listen, you can come here and tell me so to regulate my point. The gun that was seized at the Freeport. Where's the investigation today? On a Georgia administration.
So that you do also have.
I just gave you something. You see, you quick to jump to conclusion. You quick to jump to conclusion because you are so against the administration and you are, everything Boyka do. Now you say Boyka committed a crime by putting on the crime scene. Somebody commit a crime, you put Boyka on the crime scene. That's a ridiculous thing for me to hear as a CEO of the network. Eh?
That's you send the wrong signal outside. And
I'm not saying the wrong signal outside. I just want to make sure that you are clear on the issue. These are the companies that happened in the 19th century.
So which
21st century?
Okay, saying we went to the 19, let's come to which century we're in now. Which one?
Let me conclude now because you see when I read, I wanted to give the premise of where I'm speaking from, where I'm coming from. I'm making the statistic or I'm giving the information, what happened, what other president had done. That's why we got case study. Okay, we got case study. The case study is a reflection of what happened in the past to be able to make conclusion. Okay, Boyka is a steward of the Republic of Liberia as the president of the Republic of Liberia. He have the obligation to negotiate and finally report to the House of Representatives to be able to get the finance for the set of the institution. Thank you. I rest.
You're not resting. I rather put you on.
Okay, let's go. I'm ready. Go ahead.
So you talk about Edwin Barclay, J.J. Ramos, Stephen, whatever Benson, this and that. Which ones the Boyka to negotiated?
The yellow machine is coming. The man said yellow machine is coming. He negotiated for yellow machine to come to Liberia. That's what I'm saying. He said it. The machine is coming. He wrote a letter to the House of Representatives already, informing them on that issue.
Can I say something?
Your time will come.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's painful to watch Jerry Bacon struggle around here.
I'm not struggling. You don't want to digest it. You don't want to digest it. That's what it is. But these are the statistics. Woman, Firestone. Who negotiated the company to come to Liberia?
So okay, the other thing you're talking about.
There you go.
Who not paying this? Who not paying this? That. These are all government. And this is why they have executive orders, no matter what it is, the government, incoming government, if any deal, I'm telling you, well, we saw that happening. Trump, other people, we see that if anybody, that's what on day one. You see, this is the proclamations our politicians, you guys raise these people, they don't tell us. And for people like us, with independent mind, and speak, you can't speak that, because if or so you are going to ask your guy, and I wish our people can ask these people question, our leader, people who seeking this higher office of the land on day one. What do you think? You see here, most of the time when they're having this leader there, they will tell you, say, on day one, I will revoke this, I will do this, I will use the executive order. How many of our people have ever done that? Zero. Because you are one of those who shield those people. For you to come here tonight to take the positions of Samson Toe is absurd. And this is what Sissy is about to skin you here this evening, not to physically harm you. But Sissy, get to your point. I won't go to court here because Jerry is struggling. Call Samson Toe to come to your rescue.
I will let the progressive keep his scheme because they've been having that for a long time and they haven't reflected. But let me say this. And Terry, I agree with you. Let me just say that from the beginning. Mr. Barker, National Iron Ore Company in Birmingham Hills, because I grew up in Birmingham Hills, by the way, so that's why I remember that. Lpr Mining Company, LMC in Birmingham Hills. The bomb mines and the Firestone, negotiations are done by the president. Now, were those companies already in Liberia before the president went to the legislature for ratification? No. So that's not the same thing. Nobody has argued that President Bouakai does not have the right to negotiate. I've not seen that argument anyway. Not even the seditionists are saying that. So that is not a point. And nobody has argued that they don't have the right to break in, do their free privileges, and not pay taxes. So that whole document from the LRA was a smoke show, because nobody's argued that. The point they're arguing here is the process. And I'm going to be brutally honest here. What the president wrote, for me, puts Liberia at a negotiating disadvantage. So let's think about this. I am the investor. You say, bring the machines to Liberia, and we will talk. You know, I'm going to tell the beginning and say, I begin go bring the market to the hall. We'll talk. Let me see how much I think come. We'll talk. But why are they doing that? So the man bring his machines to Liberia. Now, if that man is a smart person, now that everybody, Liberia is caught up in this euphoria about the yellow machines and what it would do for our people, and I want to say here that it would do wonderful things for our people. This is a needed, these things are needed. I want to clear that it will do wonderful things, and our people are already euphoric about that. If I go into negotiation with this government, I am going to make sure I get the most I can, because you know what? If the government say no, like the president saying in a letter, they can choose to either sell it in Liberia to other people, or they can carry it back. Just the optics of those people loading those yellow machines back on truck and carrying them back to the Freeport will be a downfall to the Joseph Bouakai government. So you already put yourself at a competitive disadvantage going into negotiation. So I really don't understand. For me, I really believe that people want to win so badly, so fast, to show that George Weah government was not up to the task, so fast that they are running ahead of their heads. What would it have taken to just really do this thing the right way, do a negotiation the right way, already have it ready to be shipped? Once they go to the legislature, they approve it tomorrow. Today, tomorrow is on a ship coming. What would they have done? So I think, like you said, Mr. Barker, a lot of the people have not learned government, and these are people that were running around with these things. They not learn the process. So to use a case study and say Firestone was negotiated by Todman, yeah, nobody is arguing that the president does not have the right to negotiate. What they're saying is, how come the materials are in the country before now you negotiate and go to the legislature? They're looking at the process. And I don't think anybody, even the seditionists, nobody hits that there will be these earth-moving equipment that will come and will help to grade the roads and make the road better. Seditionists, UPists, us, with our broom, will be all on the road. We all will utilize it, will benefit all of us. They are talking about process. And for us to come today to say George Weah then did gun Benin last time, so we can do it now, then let the people start dropping some album too now, because George Weah was dropping music. Let hear it for release too now. They will know where we're going.
We're being gissy or what, Bandy?
Wherever you decide. Anyway, I'll do my close argument. Let my dear sister speak. Get a
glass of water, Jared, because right now the Lpr is not here. So
I get my bottle of water here. I don't need it, but I get my bottle of water here, so I don't need it.
Nobody gonna help you today. Let me break in Koto in, because since it I kind of like already square it out. Koto.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. So. And you know, this yellow machine issue have been like a rising issue that, like, if you say why some of us are not talking so much, is because for me, I'm in the background asking what the benefit, what is it for, what can the Liberian people, you know, what it is a burden on the Liberian people. But what's some of the information we have been getting is like you saw people that supported during the election period. And because they supported during the election period, they also want to support the government at some level. The only difference is that when you are doing these things, it's no longer like on a political party level. It's now a national issue. For me, there where I have problem, and we know that these concerns are there. These people that have supported, they want the government, to actually and not be a failure, and because of that, they're bringing these things in. But again, I don't want it to be like where we heard, before that this equipment came and it's packing in Lofa, and and that's why for the person who even making a negotiation, I really, want them to be very careful also, because it will come to a point if the government cannot handle it. That's just saying they put it on the machine. They gotta be taken back. You cannot put responsibility on the government and you not come and want to raise a high price and you want to push it down in the throat of the people. Of course, if I'm the administrator or I'm the president, I'm not going to let that be pushed in my throat but if they are sincere with the level in which they're pushing the yellow machine, they will not go to the level of making it on a high demand. For what I know, this is something that they want to, help the government in improving some of these road conditions and at the agricultural level. But I know if they come to that level, someone will lash back. But it is a good fit. I know many people will not want to listen to this, but I think that's where it is. Nobody is coming to push it down in anybody's throat that will affect the Liberian people. And that's where the negotiation process is. You say you want to bring your equipment, right? Yes. If you are bringing this equipment, if it goes beyond our negotiation, we're not going to accept it. Yes. And that's where the negotiation is. And when Terrence said that the information minister and the ministry should have come up to clarify these things, the information minister, I heard the information minister or the press group saying that they will come up with details. You cannot come on now and start giving information to people to digest, then you withdraw it. That have been the point. Because myself, when I asked the question, that was what I was told. We need to get a detail because we are still discussing the issue. We cannot come out to say this is vividly what it is, and where time comes and it change, and that's why we are, for people who have been asking me and question too, I have been asking, that is the process going on, that it is negotiable and it is not a bad deal, but hey, we want to see the final, process of this deal. That's all I can tell people now.
The draw those sweet story here, I am here for it because
if we want to it let me tell you something. Somebody was saying, like Sister was saying, when they kind of want to push it in our throat. Most of the time, I'm a business person. I used to tell the people, carry the things to my house, go put it down there. When they put it to the house, I go there and tell them they want to go hide in my press. I say, but then I want to carry back. It's hard for them to take it and carry back. So we reach at that level. That's not what we discuss here. That's just a common business level, and that's not what it is. But if they have to come to that level, who is to be blamed? It came at your expense. It's not the government expense.
Are you looking at
the businessman expense?
Who want to be the victim?
Are you looking at the political capital? If CDC decides to say we'll pay for the man to carry material back, the man say okay, then they put it back on, just putting that thing back.
Wait a minute.
And would that benefit the business?
It would not. But it would be more harmful to the government than it would be to them. It would be politically harmful to the government.
What right with the CDC will have to say
what right?
They negotiate with a private entity.
Oh my God!
If you carry your card on
I'm not even looking at it for that level. I'm gonna say if what people say
goes
to that level. Who is the business person? but it is
No,
not
also,
reaching
listen,
even to
you
that
see,
level. It's not.
government agreement is different from setting bidder ball and that cost something.
That's what I'm telling you. I said if they go to that point where he trying to say,
but at the
Lucius,
end of the day, what we are saying and why we want you to understand, if anything goes wrong, it's to the disadvantage to the government, not that business person. Why? Because it was the responsibility of the government. That's why you have the Minister of Information, not information, I mean Minister of Finance. You have the Attorney General, who is a legal person. They all go into those contracts. Before those things were removed, wherever they come from, you have to come to a legal binding. If at all that legal binding are not concluded, and you try to do it the Liberian way, I want to come from Nigeria, I can still pass to Africa and come on the other side than they across the border. If you bring them, and that businessman feels that he's in it for a business, if that deal is not sealed up, he or she has the right to walk out of that business. And when he walks out of that business, and I'm a billionaire, he doesn't want to care about it, he can option it anyway. And when that happens, your government is being put on water. That's what we are saying.
Yeah, I agree. Which I agree with you. We all saying the same thing. We all saying the same thing. But we are saying it on a different level.
Here together. Jared back on and you something to something's texting you guys. But let me go to the phone line here. Once edition is on the phone here. Here, what are you gonna say?
Oh, you're gonna get the West or so that one. I don't expect anything.
That breakable on.
Call, are you there?
Yeah.
No,
I know.
Hello.
Yeah, quite sure. You know, if I could beat around among my brothers, they say Alpha later, they say walk on me.
Look, he coming warn you today, tomorrow you take
that breakable.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't glorify you to them. No, you just say plain blank. I listen to my brother Bako saying, into say I should be taking. Into say I should be taking. Even level government. Normally against it, you should come in our country. But Mr. Bako, take your Baka share for EU and put Liberian EU and see the logic in
you not take a we are share on you for yourself, or you're the same people you want to.
No. Look at the logic in it. Why will you do a concession or anything that procurement and have it in your house? Before you go to the store and do window shopping. Who do that? Who does that? You go to the post store and take the transfer and take the shoes and bring it to your house. Then you go there and do window shopping and you go there for business.
Who's supposed to cry? The businessman or the brand supposed to cry? Now you're the one paying for that machine they took.
Oh God!
I know it, I know it.
What?
The same thing, your opposition, you're in government for 12 years. 12 years. After your 12 years, you keep now in power.
The man CDC mail, the man support us.
Let me go to the next caller. Yeah.
Talking. They are saying yes. You're in power for 12 years. The president supported for in government for 42 years. 12 years of our president. So you're not neutral.
Get your number there right here too. All right, you're the same problem, people.
Before the same thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's go to Connecticut here. 203 number, are you there?
And the Holy Trinity, come here.
Yes, sir.
One of moving the direction of the independent.
After the 30 line will call, then the Holy Trinity is finished.
I think you say they're forming new CDC whatever coalition. Okay, Keto, let's hear you. Jared Bacon is having a very difficult night here tonight. I think the Liberal needs to come and rescue him.
Yeah, that is your perception.
Mr. So, sometimes I get really disappointed when people try to take away what belongs to Mr. Bwaka from him and put it at the feet of his deputies. I get frustrated over the whole conversation. Now, Mr. Bwaka is the president. He makes the final decision. The board starts with him, And so when things are not going good in this government, as far as appointment, as far as decision making, we look at Joseph Boakai to be at fault. I don't look at him as a deputy. I don't look at him as a deputy because it is not Mr. Gracepin who does the appointment. It's Mr. Boakai, President Boakai. Secondly, the yellow machine saga that is going on. We have heard many stories around the whole yellow machine. The first person that we heard yellow machine story from at the retreat, it was Mama Kability. She announced the whole 280 some more yellow machine coming to the country, and in fact, it's on the ship. And it was a big thing about it. I don't know what they were trying to impress. And then from senators that talked with the president, according to them, the president said it was a friend that decided to give these things to help in moving his agenda forward. And then when we hear again a letter going to the Senate to make $57 million available to pay on the first set of the machine, and so the conflict is all over the place. What is going on with this machine? Nobody is against. I would be happy for somebody to say, look, like we're a poor country, that we've been suffering for so long, we have civil war. I will give the people 300 machines. Carry to the different areas, let's start opening the road and the door. I will be happy. But you cannot come and do this kind of stuff there, and we see people like Mr. Bacon, our sister, and all the other people that are saying, yeah, let the president bring it. No, this is a country of law. President Weah said he did it wrong. He didn't do all this in the right way. He brought Konosa people, he did things, he violated that. Why are you coming now to do the same thing or even worse than President Weah?
He brought Konosa people?
That's what they said.
What you
he ate when the airplane in the cake, he ran their stomach, so that their own.
He said they brought all these people on. These people didn't qualify. They eat everywhere. This, that. You're keen to do the rest of the country. Why you're making all these mistakes and you're trying to back what you do?
Okay, thank you so much.
Against back in the days. I think that's the most dissatisfactory thing to me in this whole thing. We should look at Liberia as a nation that needs better, that can do better, and we should hold our leaders accountable for the things they do. Because tomorrow, Joseph Boakai will be out of the office in 6 years' time or in 5 years' time. We will still be around God's our life. We'll have Liberia to deal with. And it would not be honest for our people right now. We'll sit down here again talking the same thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, I know what we're going on. That's the difficulties involved when people who pick side and tries to protect their own alligator, they try to silence the independent. For Mr. Bacon to say, I hate, I don't like, no, that's not who I am. I am a patriot.
That's a strong word.
Yeah, I am a patriot. I want to denounce that publicly because I'm asking legitimate questions that you fail to ask as someone who supports this president. You brought George Weah on us. You left George Weah on duty and went to Joseph Boakai. You got in a ferry. The ferry is now sitting there in Grand Bassel and somewhere Riverside in between. And you want to tell me, say, no, we as a network, we as a people, we are not a resistance against government, but even at the bar, we must have these critical conversations. And I know you say that because, it's not on purpose. You don't mean to do that. But you try to put a defense line. We know how it is when people are on edge and they want to, fire back, then they will do it like a Rex Tillerson and man, Donald Trump type here. But on a serious note, nobody, my county, to go to my own village, from the other man who will be talking, who played a Sacramento role here, from his town to my village, it's horrible. What happened was, what was saying, and Terry said that the other day, these are the kind of thing the late Imaya Buya didn't like. When they finish talking, carton carpet, and those are the kind of things they like. There are few members in the Senate who have a long-term political agenda felt they wanted to embarrass the woman. And one of them, I would say, well, they said, this one who doesn't know which way to go now, and just doing all day, you post on Facebook now, the woman cooking, you wear the other sneaker black, the next day blue, American. They felt that they wanted to embarrass the woman. But if they were really, if the government has sent this out, that those kind of people, then you can put them against their own constituents, and that's who are going to suffer it at the end of the year. Joseph Boyka, I don't know, he has not told me, but most likely he wants to go. He has nothing much to do. Those are very good things. I just wanted the government to have executed a good sort of proclamations or something that was just going to put this. So, who in Liberia, whether you like him or not, that do not want to have low asset? Who in Liberia that do not want to make their coffee, their banana, their plenty to be to come to town when we have good roads? But they're the one they were doing their own stuff. Probably you were providing that counsel. I'm just kidding. But it's 10 o'clock right on the dot. We're going to be wrapping up with our closing remarks. Terry, who got the heat on this network tonight?
Well, I would not want to be judgmental in that regards, because
you scared so they can't the people throw you out of the chat already. Where you scared? Where you scared from?
Yeah, Mr. Bachman and my papi. So obviously, it's Scotland and all of that. But to be honest with you,
they say that no can have the MPF.
Yeah. The security people will never tell you the whole thing, the whole truth. They can't discuss the whole truth with you. It will always be in the air for you to figure it out. So me, I understand Mr. Bachman now. He will never go all the way with you. But we are the independent. Even though you don't want to accept us as independent, so it's okay.
No, you're not part of us. You gotta start.
No, I'm not an independent voice, but I'm independent.
Okay. You and your.
I'm not part of the independent voice.
What about it? Independent, but the voice not independent.
Yeah. I say, yeah, you're Fatu man there, you're Fatu there, you're independent different for us.
Yeah, but you see, the old man is also playing a very smart game.
Which are the old man now?
Mr. Boyka, or His Excellency, President Boyka is playing a very smart game. But for the sake of transparency and the watchdog media institution, the international community, is not good. This kind of approach is not healthy for him. It's not gonna put his government on that pedestal that he presented himself to be on the international scale. This step was not right. He got to go back and change the dynamics. It does not look good on us. Because he can be saying, we're negotiating, but the machine in the country. Everybody know that there is something, and I hope that what I'm thinking is not true and it will not happen. I hope that this machine is not coming with a concession. I hope this machine, because what I'm hearing is that in that letter is that Liberia is not paying anything. Nobody gave anything for free. There is no free ride nowhere in the world. Those days of freedom is over. All right? So I hope that this machine is not coming with a concession. If it's coming, it's fine, but it must be beneficial to our people that are.
Okay, guys, just give me a second. One plane just landed here from our man, one of our regular onliners. Let's hear him, and then I'll come back to you. Willie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Mr. So.
Okay, let's hear you quickly before I join my guys.
Yeah, so you see, Liberia, we have problems. And all I'm hearing here, and which is true, that everybody wants a machine. Liberians need a machine. We all need a machine to work. When the previous government was in power, I think they purchased 42 pieces of equipment like that. I think 2016, right around the inauguration time, and the rest yet to come. But for us to prepare for those kind of initiatives, like I think what Mr. Baga was saying, 500 young people were supposed to do IT. Well, if he had a kind of plan to bring 285 pieces, we were not talking about, or he couldn't be talking about training operators, machinists, and things to take care of it. This machine. I can remember Nema Kante doing editor, they order a bunch of yellow machines. And today, a party in some corner because there was no program, no system built for that thing, and everything is sitting in Ghana there. They are keeping tax on it.
All right. We are already out of time, Willie. We couldn't just ignore that call. The other call, your call, Lion Ted, join us tomorrow. Guys, let's go back here. We said we intend not to leave no 1 year, Lion Ted.
The Minnesota CDC was looking after Lion Ted, after 30.
All right, no, we gotta go now, so we can't keep. We gotta work within the time frame. I got an invitation out to Fatima and Esther. Esther Marcel will be a host. Fatu, Jerry Bacon, and the Laborer. I don't know which way Terry will want to go. Terry want to join, then that's okay. Two of us can handle 4 of you guys. But Jerry, great conversations. I think all of these things is healthy for the country to have these conversations, asking the outside and inside that. But we got to ask you guys, because you are the people that bring these alligators to us, and then when they grow full grown, when you start eating your nana, you say, oh, and I know, that I didn't want to do. So we got to ask you. But let's get a final word for the night.
Well, thank God it's Friday, and I'm glad to be here again. The issue here is Mr. Burkhardt, the Excellency, will never, ever do anything to jeopardize the future of our nation, which of course I know. He's very passionate about the country. He's very concerned about the generation. So, man, we are human beings. Nobody's infallible. So it will work out. It is in the best interest for the government. It's also in the best interest of the Republic of Liberia and for the machine. We all will benefit from it. Out from all the way we, like I always say, there's no car road there. And hopefully the machine will learn, will benefit from it. But in my closing remarks, I think I put in the chat room something. Hopefully tomorrow we can discuss it. The drugs issue in Liberia is an epidemic. It needs to be addressed. There's a girl who is pregnant. I think I put in the chat room. She speaks very well. And she's pregnant. And she said, nowhere to go. And that child going to be born in that environment. It's a recycle of poverty. That's how I call it, recycle of poverty. And it broke my heart. I mean, she speaks well. And the journalist asked her, are you educated? Your speaking is different from the rest of the people here. And she said, yeah, I graduated from high school. And the circumstances she said was, if she did not smoke that dope, or you didn't use that, or whatever they are using, they want to pass out. They get diarrhea because the drug have to keep them going. If they miss it for 2 or 3 days, they're almost at the point of death. So I think it's a serious topic for us to talk about it on the show. I know we have been doing it, but I think we can take a whole show one day and discuss the issue. These are the future. Can you imagine? She is pregnant, and that child going to be born in that environment. And when
how far you're going with the drug test?
That's what I said. That's what I said. It would take another show for us to deal with the issue. I just want to throw out that today. And I saw this thing today. I mean, I tears out.
Are the supporters of the president in Ezra taking drug tests too, or only people in Liberia?
I just told you we need a whole 4 hours to be able to discuss it as during my closing. If you want me to go ahead, answer your question.
Something that can be, you're not answering my question. Mr. Goya.
Yeah.
I asked him, man, what are you not doing on a drug test? You're not asking
this is the drug test business. So my closing is going to go back to the University of Liberia. And one of the reasons I said contest should not have been made president of the University of Liberia, right? So I'm looking at, by the way, they still get that cell phone number there with a 0000.
Your number still there?
It's still there. But I'm looking at the Department of Chinese Language and Culture at the University of Liberia. We don't have a Liberian language and culture, but Chinese language and culture. And I'm looking at the Chinese Language and Culture Department. Offers a bachelor's degree in Chinese language and culture in 3+1 model, 3 years at the University of Liberia, 1 year learning in China with full scholarship. Learn Chinese, double your word. That's their catchphrase. And then they said the graduates with BA degree will have chances to further their studies in China with full scholarship or get job opportunities in Chinese funded enterprises in Liberia. How many Chinese funded enterprises in Liberia are there that will graduate in this bachelor's degree? And then here's the thing though, it said for more information, please contact Samuel K. Deike, and they list his number and list his email address. That's it. They don't list courses. They don't list anything. They put one guy phone number. They get a Lone Star number and a cell phone number. I'm supposed to call a guy and say, my man, I want to enter the Chinese Institute. Then he will tell me, say, yeah, my man, yeah, let's talk the way you will come in or you're not coming in. What is the process? What are the courses? Nothing. Listed nowhere. And this is the university that Conte presided over. What logic did they make to take him back there and lead it in an interim period? Or to even put him in charge of leading a search committee. Look, I believe systems are like containers. And people who interact with systems are like fluid. They take the shape of the container. Content has not created a good container. And so whatever the shape of the fluid that the UL has been putting out under his regime was, is going to be the same thing we're going to put out. And he is going to end up getting a candidate that is not going to be the best for the University of Liberia. I think the University of Liberia Board of Trustees was in error when they made a pronouncement to nominate him. And I think they need to release to the Liberian public what were the vetting process, how many names they consider, how many were finalists, so we understand how deep and how wide they went. Having said that, Unity Party people, y'all go to your website on eMansion. The vice president page. We don't get a picture where he kissing the Bible. A bio not up. CDC already had the bio up for the vice president by this time. Just simple website on the eMansion. You can't update the vice president biography. Y'all do something better before we take the yellow mission back.
Let me say that one though. And this is why it is. These are the kind of voices Jerry Bacon and his Samson liberal told they do not want to hear. When we say it, then they say we hate the government. We don't like the government. We want the right thing to be done. And what is the dangerous part of it, and Koto, I wish you were here, to say, oh, it's not anything, he just leading the interim leadership. One who leads the interim, you transition from one place to get it. You spoiled everything yesterday. You broke it apart. What is the possibility now that you're going to take us into deep sea? Yes, Jared Bacon doesn't want to hear what I'm talking, so he's looking in the air now, calling on God to come down. Sister Goya, thank you. Terry, did I hear you say you want to be an independent guy now?
Well, I am an independent guy from the one I came on the platform. I told you guys I'm independent.
You get a side. You get a side.
Yeah, I told you I love Liberia.
It's good
that I support President Walker, but I'm not in any political party.
No,
supporting a candidate doesn't mean that you are not independent.
Then there's no you don't have your decision is no longer independent. If you look aside, you don't want to see Joe.
But I took aside.
You want to see but not with me.
Yeah, but for you run a transparent network. You don't need to take a side. You don't need to show us who you supporting. If you choose it, it's fine. So if you do that.
So let me ask you why you think I didn't take a side.
Because to be honest with you, I really admire you for that. I really admire you for that because on your platform, a lot of seditious can come here. All right, giving us the hint that there is a CDC network, but all through the campaign, you didn't take aside the GDA network, GDA who claimed to be journalist, blah blah blah. All of them went. Freedom FM in Liberia, all of them, all the major networks in America that were carrying CDC that was supporting President Weah, they all committed themselves. But you were the only person that remained to stand alone.
You see,
And I must give you credit for that. I'm telling you, I give you credit for that.
Yeah, okay, well, credit. I don't. You see why? Why they're doing all of these political correctness? Hey, man, don't do this because they created their own headache. They created their own alligator. The alligator is biting there now, so they're feeling downhearted. That's why you see them talking all day. Oh, I don't do this. I don't do this. That's why. Now, when a media institution become a resistant and fail to follow the basic rules to be transparent, create an open dialogue, you can hold them accountable because you facilitated this person to get to that. So if they do any other thing now, they're not going to trust you because you took a side.
Right.
And when you take a side, you disadvantage other voices to be heard. You raise money for people, for campaigns. Okay, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do it, but when that happens, tell me how you think the other network people, how you think
right now the people cannot trust you.
And you're a candidate, you can't go there because when you go there, they strangulate you. They will do everything to bring you down. Your voices, everything you say, it will be twisted, and you will just explain. And for
explain tire, no evidence.
No evidence. And just create unnecessary drama. We don't want to do that here because if we did that, and that's what Jerry and Samson told want us to do. But unfortunately, they made their time. That's not what I'm.
Well, we are not journalists, so we can take our side. But what I wanted to say to that thing, obviously, I wanted to say something, but Sissy had left, so I would just leave it there. But about that doctor thing and all that kind of stuff. People with divinity, with doctorate degree in divinity, can lead a university. I don't see the problem with that. The only thing, if it's an honorary degree, wherein they confer a degree on you, that is what the university was advocating for in a policy that people with honorary degree should not hold any high-level academic institutional position. That was it. And the Minister of Information under President Weah overturned that. They overturned that policy. They did not allow that policy to stand from what I'm reading here. But again, I don't know. He need to come up and give us clarity. I thought I wanted to put it out there so we can talk about, so he can give me clarity, more understanding of that and all of that, because that is his area. But
this guy, is he praying?
Oh, I listen to you guys.
Yeah.
No, but of course, I'm praying. I'm praying because you're saying part of Tabata. That's the whole thing that I'm praying for. That's what not you, Terry. You say part of Tabata, so
I tell my papa, but honor the bottle. No, but I use the papa talking about you, Mr. So, not me. But anyway, Mr. So,
I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you for your Tabata. That's all. And I'm praying for. I'm talking about Terry. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about
this particular university guy that we're talking about here. The president need to look at it. But yeah, it was a good show, Mr. So. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. So. I don't mean no harm. So that's what it is. I have. Okay.
All right. Jerry.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
But Mr. So, you say you went to Mr. Jerry house and all of that, and you had a next time there, but still.
Oh yeah, he tried to bribe me with with beer. I drank it, and I told him I drank it for free. If I go, I will still be the same way. So you not.
Let me say this. Let me say this before you go. I had the priest. I had the
wow.
Different certain level. No, I really wanted for them to pray for him, so you'll be
Now what? Bringing Hennessy that you can't pray for me.
I want for them to pray.
Mr. Bible said you want to pray to the priest should lay hands on you so that you can come to the broadcast side. But you, I don't know.
We were in the devil kingdom. They were drinking a Hennessy that you can't pray. I needed to pray for them. I prayed for them before I left. The driver, the Palama who I went to go. he said, you almost son, I say, yeah. By the time
on the 20th is my wife's birthday. You are welcome, anytime.
So, but no, on a serious note, well, Liberal, is he okay?
Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah, Fatu sent me a message. He told me not to come. But you see the Ghana here tonight. How the program went quiet, peaceful. No putting phone in more, phone not in more. You ever heard anybody saying that? Nothing.
All right. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll be here tomorrow, God willing.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we want to thank you so much for your time with us here this evening. As usual, this is what we do. If this is the first time we say thank you for sharing your evening. We are live on Facebook or YouTube simultaneously, and that is via LinkedIn. Follow us, subscribe, send your comments. We usually go back to read your comments, your tweets, your suggestions, always welcome. If you intend to be an analyst or contributors on this network, it doesn't matter. Whether you get a party with our chairman, you get a party with our office, the party on wheel, and you think about 2020 now, come here, let's have this sort of conversation. That's what it's all about. We are not against, we are not for. We stand in a gap to just ask some legitimate questions. This is what not happening in our country. And it's obvious, we see that happening here. We see media institutions pivot in the directions of certain political parties. It's obvious. But when media outsources itself the basic norms and principles, it disadvantages the citizens. It makes them uninformed. And this is why you see people move in the directions of certain media institutions. And this is why you see other people, they don't come to this because they want it their way, and we do not do it their way. We do it the way it should be. And that's why sometimes when we ask them, they want us to ask specific questions. Who the hell want to do that? You can't draw out question for me. It is fair to give you an outline of the conversations. Fair enough. But I'm not gonna ask you the question you want me to ask you. This is not a Sherman Brown yes or no Lpr-Tv those days conversation. So we want to thank you so much. Always leave your comments, your suggestions. We really, really appreciate. You will feel that when we come to these national conversations, we should put our personal feelings, emotions aside. Yes, we understand you support these people, you believe in them, they are your political godfather. But first and foremost, it's for Liberia. So just remove yourself from out of the picture. You're quick to forget. You pay money for this campaign, you pay these people when time comes, they are elected, and the only 4 tires you see in all of their car windshields are tinted, 40,000. 30,000 cars they say they were not going to ride, but they used to that. That's the difference when you go in government. They have people there to welcome you, to initiate you and say, look, don't mind those people on the outside world. No matter what you do, they will talk. Who don't want to be in authority? Authority power is freaking sweet. I want to be there. You here, they give you a chance today to be the president of Liberia, whether you can do the job or not, you're saying you can try. And that's exactly, it's the same way. So people that talk, oh, I'm talking for you, nobody talk for me. I should be able to talk for myself, because all of those people that you saw were talking yesterday, what are they saying now? Nothing. No, we're not going to hear them. The Moja boys are within the proximity of power now. They know where, you know how long these boys want to be there. You think they're going to do something? So you're on your own. The election commission, come. The president will be able to appoint people. Who you think people just want to go and put people there? Of course. The same is they are already there. So all we have to do is just sort of, we do not buy more people here. We do not call it. We just being honest and ask some questions. Even though it's uncomfortable to other people, people take it personal. We understand that. We understand that, but it's not an insult. We ask legitimate questions. You have the right to answer, not to answer. You are at liberty not to respond to our question. But what we want to do for the good of the country and to help national government. think this government, they need to enhance their communication patent skills with respect to information sharing. That's what got us to this whole yellow machine. If they had just jumped ahead of it and tell us and say, hey, who don't want that? Who don't want their rule? Who don't want their village to have access to good rule? So it's way beyond President boycott. Of course, other people do politics with it. And this sort of quick fix thing they want to do to prove a point, this is where this problem coming from. The other people don't do it. Let's do it quickly. We want to build like impressions. That's a wrong way of doing things. You have to be strategic. You have to set up priorities, things that you want to do, how you're going to do it, the results you're going to bring. That will speak for itself. You're not going to be a president. You bring police car and then you there. Let the other people showcase it. It shouldn't be you. It is the responsibility of the government of Liberia and the country to make sure the law enforcers are equipped. You bring 100,000 police cars. Who cares? We need to have police. That's your job. That's not something I want to praise you for. Well, obviously, you have these worshippers everywhere. They put them out there and they think they're not doing the government good. Let the other people run with it. But the government is fulfilling its constitutional responsibility. If you learn that, that would be good. It's intentionally sometimes leak it and let them put us at the brink, let them describe it whatever way. But when you be the first to start throwing it out there, it's like you're not doing me a favor. That's your job. You need to equip the law enforcer. That's your responsibility. The 15 political subdivision, even if it's supposed to be 5, 10 cars or bike, whatever it is, that's your job. That's the government job. And I think they deserve to have it. See what is going on in Guinea? The metro lawmaker, then you're not buying it. No, if you don't need truck, you're not buying it. All he buying now is agricultural material trucks for people to get into farming. And he said he's using his own car. Those are radical and restorative measures that you take. He said you're not buying the lawmaker, they don't need it. And that's it. They put a body a car, we attend the ball car last year. Why are they getting car? Why are they getting these 1,000 gallons? Where do they go? Do they have local offices? You leave from Old Road, you come to Capitol Hill and they give you 100 gallons. For what reason? Some of these things needs to be cut off. They need to cut off. And that's executive should be able to put some of these people against their constituent. But our people, they don't get it. But when you go talk, everybody protect their own alligator. And that's the problem we have in the country. Until we get to realize that the interests of the country comes first, should be our priority. And not who is there or what I'm going to get. We will just be fine. It's not guaranteed that's going to happen. So I want to thank you so much for your time. This evening, that's how we're going to leave it. Tomorrow is Saturday. Again, always drop your comments. We also do live broadcasts, whatever event you have, be it in USA, in Liberia, any part of the world. Let us know. When there is no way, we will figure it out. We are unlimited, and we would. And part of that is to allow you to tell your story. You can successfully tell your own story better than I do. So this is why we take LPR to your doorstep. Be it graduations, be it a wedding, be it an anniversary, reunions, conventions, even funerals. We bring visuals, we visualize it so that your family members and other people can see. That's very, very much important. And so we're always here to serve you.
You've worked for months to bring your or your client's event to life, but unfortunately, the world had another plan. In reality, the only thing you lost is the venue. We take your vision for hosting a virtual conference and bring it to life online. No matter how complex your agenda is, we produce a smooth, engaging experience. Call the Liberia Public Radio today and schedule your event. Our number is 682-433-8802. If you prefer to submit your request via email, please send the request to liberiapublicradio2012@gmail.com. Our staff are standing by waiting for your phone call.
What we'll do, we'll virtualize your event, no matter where you are, your family, they will see it right on their screen. If this is the first time, we say thank you so much, but also follow our YouTube channel. On YouTube, you can go on LinkedIn as well, Twitter, you get us live, leave your comments, leave your suggestions. If there are other event-specific things you want us to talk about, or you have a worth storytelling to share with the people, we are not selected. You don't have to be a politician. You don't have to be a representative, senator, or director, or minister before you come on this network. We allow all to tell their own story. Everybody have their own unique story that needs to be heard. So just in that, if you have something of such in mind, let us know. Until then, folks, thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. By God's willing, same time, same network. Sunday will be here with another editions of your regular program, Lpr-Tv Live with the Analysts. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am Alfonso Zienso, and this is today's editions of Lpr.